Everyone. Today we're going to be discussing Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Boba Fett, and a bunch of other random nerd news things that we found around the web. I'm joined by my lovely and beautiful three-dimensional co-host, Bale. Hello, Bale. How are you?
Howdy, I am very three-dimensional today. I feel very
That's
3D.
right. So 3D. We'd also like to take a second to thank our patrons. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys for being so awesome. All right, let's start off with checking out what's going on over on comic book Twitter. Bill sent me this earlier in the week. This is from Greg Smallwood.
Unfortunate
Sad
second
to
name to
say,
have.
sad to say that without my approval, Marvel attempted to fix several panels of my art in issue 2 of Elektra, Black, White, and Blood before sending it to the printers. They are not huge changes, but I don't like my art being tampered with. And then here we see uh well,
The various examples of
I don't know
Marvel being
why.
fucking weird and stupid.
Why would they do this? It's so weird.
Because, as I think he mentions it later down the tweets, they have a sensitivity committee or sensitivity and practices, some sort of office that shouldn't exist. That looks into this. They were like, you know what? This looks a bit too racially insensitive, so we're going to make it look even more racist. And downright destroying the facial expression in a few of the panels.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they would do this. Uh, I'm gonna look at some of the more examples of stuff that they switched. Dude, she looks like a nightmare. Why
Yes,
did they?
she looks so natural in that second. And the third one with the old guys, like the whole expression is different now. Because his eyes are no longer like, you know, the lower eyelid isn't pushing up on the eyes as much now.
Long story short, 2 months after turning in the finished pages, I was informed by my editor that Marvel Standards and Practices flagged my art and requested I redraw several panels so that they within tolerance for representation of Asian characters. What the fuck? Wife and I were
Yeah.
expecting our second child the following week, and I was racing to finish an issue of HT before the birth. So I told my brother I didn't have time to make the changes and that I would be perfectly fine with them pulling the story for sensitivity concerns. I was told that pulling the story was not an option and that if I couldn't do revisions, the Marvel bullpen would take a crack at my pages instead. I said very clearly that I didn't want anyone touching my art, so I dropped everything I was doing and immediately reworked all the panels that were flagged. Unfortunately, I just found out yesterday that the folks at Marvel didn't even bother using my new art and instead went to print with their own revised pages, and I was not given a chance to make further revisions or even approve the alterations made by the bullpen. They also attempted to cover up some nudity, which just resulted in a muddied mess. Again, something I was willing to fix.
Yeah, that nudity cover up is it's amateur. They should have just put like a bucket to a black on that.
I just wanted you all to know because my name is on the comic, but I'm pretty annoyed about how it looks. As a palette cleanser, here's the cover and the first two, also the best pages unaltered. I've got a newborn, a 3-year-old, and some tight deadlines to manage right now, so this is all I'm saying on the matter, going back to my hole again. What the hell, man?
Yeah,
Why?
why
It looked
fucking
fine.
do this? It looked perfectly fine. Like nobody in their right mind would have had an issue with this. But you know what brought all of the existence of that office and all of this into existence? Oh, the idiots on Twitter, like the Alex the Campy, the all the artists that blocked me when I called them out. The guy that
Mm,
traces photos, that drew the Tom King photo. Mitch Gerards, that effort.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
of those idiots continually going, this is bad, this is sexist, this is racist. Well, this is what you sowed, and now this is what you're gonna reap.
I mean, I would say, listen, I don't think one looks more or less offensive than the other. I mean, but I will say the artwork. The
It
artwork
looks terrible.
looks much worse.
It, like the first panel that showed here looks downright creepy.
Yeah, no. This looks something like something Junji Ito would draw.
I
It's
know, right?
it's creepy as hell and just a general waste of time. I don't find this particularly offensive, and I would kind of like to see an Asian person that would. I'd be very curious to see um, what an Asian person would think or do about this. Like, you know what? We're gonna have to ask an Asian person.
I
We'll do
don't
that
think
later.
I don't think yeah, we'll do that later when one of them shows up in the chat. Um, I wonder if they would have done that if the artist himself was Asian.
Oh no, definitely fucking not, dude. Not at all. They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare.
I'm surprised
No.
they've hired
Fucking.
people who are not Asian to draw this book to begin with.
That's the first thing. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm surprised that they didn't just hire an Asian person to draw. Even if, again, it's an Electra book, so I guess she. What the fuck is Electra? What is she
What is
Turkish?
a
What the hell?
lecture?
What is she? Was she
I've
Greek?
I've no clue.
I have no idea. A Strike Boy. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, but keeping up with the comic book news. Uh, Weird advertisements aside, separated at birth. So, Bleeding Cool, a website that I don't like. An article written by a man who goes by the term or loving nickname Bitch Johnson on Twitter. Bitch Johnson wrote this, and he writes, "Separated at birth. Here's a clip of a double splash, a double page splash from the upcoming Trial of the Amazons by Joel Jones." And so here's Joel Jones's work up top, and here is Pepe Larraz's work down below.
From literally a few months ago. This isn't
Yeah.
even a swipe from something that came out like 10 years ago or something. This literally came out a few months ago.
So there is this GIF that's being played right now, where it slowly transitions from Joel's work, and then as it evaporates, look at the artwork underneath and see if you could spot the difference. And if you can't spot the difference, look, you see that? You see those two? Now it's Pepe Larraz's art. Now let's go back. Now it's Joel Jones's art. She completely fucking traced. Here's a fade between the two, just so you can make a better judgment. Not that we judge, of course. There's a long and proud history of this in the comic book industry. Let those who are without swipe cast. Shut the fuck up, bitch, Johnson. Dude, listen, I understand why people fucking can't stand this guy. You
Yeah,
have decided to write an article on your comic book. I said not popular, comic book popular, because comic books are read by maybe
five.
100,000 people in America. you
If you're
know?
lucky.
Yeah, right. So I say comic book popular as in that there are people that watch YouTubers whose communities
Shit on his articles.
are larger, whose communities are larger than the entire comic book industry. So yes, this is a comic book popular webpage in the subtle obscure niche of comic book readership, American comic book readership. Anyway, you decided to write this article calling Joel Jones's stealing of art out, which is fair actually, and
He's done this
I can
before.
appreciate that.
Like
Yes.
the title of the article, Separated at Birth, has been like a long running article
Mm-hmm.
on Bleeding Co. About every time
That's
he
right.
sees someone swipes, he just like, hey, look at this.
Hey, hey, look at this swipe. He
Which is
calls him out.
good. Yeah, which is good.
I completely stand by that. We should people who steal art, people not people who reference or pay homage to. I'm talking about a swipe. I'm talking about somebody sketched something and you basically traced over that same thing and decided to claim it as your own. That is stealing. Stealing is shit. Stealing sucks. I don't like the way I don't like that what it encourages in other artists, and I think it's just fucking lazy. It's lazy
Yeah,
and
at the
it's
very
shit.
least, it's poor form. Because Joe Jones is
Mm,
an established artist. Like she has the chops to draw cool
she does.
poses. I've seen her art. Like she the lady can draw.
She can draw. I thought this was a
Which
recoloring of an image. No, watch the image switch. The one with the green haired woman is somebody else's art entirely. So Joel Jones is well, in this instance, I can't speak for an entire body of work, but in this instance, is a fucking hack, dude. She
yeah,
this again, just the way you can't judge people by, a one-off or, you know, incident. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I'm saying she fucked up here, dude. This sucks.
eh?
The same way, dude. The same way you'd call out a person who steals jokes and passes those jokes off as their own.
Correct.
N- Now, again, like there's a line to be drawn, right? She clearly stole somebody's art,
Yeah,
and
and
she's a
here's the thing.
professional, and she stole another professional's art.
In
And
regards to
what an
tracing,
idiot!
it's even recent, but yeah, in regards to tracing, like if she traced like a photograph instead of referencing it, or like a 3D model or something, I can get that, and and if I notice it,
Sure,
I'll be upset, but I'll let it pass. But this is someone else's work.
this is someone else's art. Pepe Larraz sat at his desk for God knows how long, thumbnailing and inking and moving and sorting this pose out himself. And Joel Jennings just came up and said, "This is mine now."
Yeah. And
So,
here's the thing. Someone on Twitter also mentioned that this isn't her first offense. She's done this before.
really, wow. So Joel Jones, I would like to actually see some of that, some more of her fucking swipes.
See if I
Uh,
can find it. Computer can.
what a fucking. All right, yo, here, write this down in the analogs. Joel Jones, and then just write piece of shit next to her name. No, I'm kidding. I don't, dude. Listen, I don't know what the fuck her problem is, man. She's a professional artist. Maybe she's just a hack, dude. Maybe she's a honestly, Bill. Maybe she's a fucking fraud. Maybe she could do. Maybe all of these are just pictures, and maybe, dude. You know what, dude? Maybe she's the fucking what's his face, dude. Is it Greg Long?
Hey, Greg Land.
Greg Land, dude. Greg Land is a quote
Here
unquote
it is.
professional artist. However, he built an entire career around stealing art and tracing photos, like tracing very blatantly obvious photos where you could clearly see, like, oh, that was a Playboy cover. Oh, that was like
Yeah.
a Maxim magazine cover. Oh, that was a cover of a porno DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, let me pull up this. Let me pull this up. web manga, web manga plus comic. Superman Flying by Patrick Gleason and Joel Jones. Oh, look here. Let me see if I can see if I can. Oh fuck, that's right. I shut my screen deck off. Oh well. Here we'll do it the old. Here we go. Superman Flying by Patrick Gleason and Joel Jones. And that is a complete fucking trace, dude.
Down to the fucking facial expression, which is like, I get it. Sometimes another fellow professional comes up with like this banger of a pose, and you just can't control yourself. And you're like, you know what, this will fit so good in this panel or this page or whatever. But fucking move it around a bit. At least change the facial
Yeah.
expressions, or move the head. The head, fucking something, dude.
What a fucking dickhead. And these are just the times she's been caught.
Yeah.
God knows how many other times she's done this and not got caught.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
that Bitch Johnson caught this before Jimbo did. Because we all know how fast Jimbo is with that shit.
he is very fast.
And before Jimbo just shows up with like a 3 terabyte hard drive with with evidence of Joe Jones swiping from day fucking one.
Fucking man,
Oh boy.
Joel Jones. What a
That
fucking
just
hack.
poor.
All right.
That just poor, very poor. And
Oh,
here's the big question. Where the fuck is editorial? Because this is recent work. Where the fuck is editor to say, hey, this is swiped. Don't do this fucking shit. Redraw this thing.
well, Pepe Larraz was drawing X Men, and that was a DC cover, right? Joel Jones.
Yeah. But
Maybe that's why. Maybe editorials don't know all the Marvel fucking books like that.
Oh yeah,
So,
the biggest artists in Marvel, they're not gonna follow his work, and
I
that
mean,
specific
yeah.
image was thrown
I mean,
around the internet so much because it's so good.
honestly, yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with it, but yeah, man, this is the modern comic book industry. Okay, this got some flack. This image.
I don't know why. Yeah, this is literally the meme. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. She ain't even gotta be visible.
Yeah, people got upset over this one.
Why? We already know she's running around naked from like this fucking source material. I think I was about to comment, you know what, you should redraw this, but put her in like full on tights. And I just
She doesn't even
thigh
have
high stockings.
what's up X2, but yeah. So this is the original image, and this is people getting upset. Um, she's 16,
She is also
and
a
then
fucking drunk.
she's a drawing. Ain't she 16, bro? It's a cartoon, man. It's a fucking cartoon. And then we have this those who don't know, those who know, and then somebody reposts that. Those who don't know, those who know. No difference. And then the little caption, he is unbothered by the existence of internet pornography. Which by the way, I wouldn't even call this internet pornography.
This isn't even pornography.
This is not pornography. It's a picture of clothes.
Literally, it's a picture of floating clothes.
Didn't we see quote unquote underage nudity in Euphoria? Yeah, in the TV show Euphoria, we see plenty of teenage tits and cock floating around. But they're all played by 30 and 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like nobody in Euphoria is underage and showing their nude bodies. HBO would be fucking sued into oblivion. Those producers would go to jail. So no, it's all pretend. And in this isn't even a real person. This
This
is
is a
just
drawing. This is
this is a
fictional characters.
this is by the way, it's not even a fictional character. It is a drawing of clothing. Come down, son. It's just a drawing. Yeah, dude. It's a painting of clothes. And they're like, she's 16. Who's 16? The clothing? Who's 16? The painting that was drawn?
Yeah, I don't
She's
remember
16. Who's
who.
16? I
I
don't
don't
see an
remember
actual
who's.
person in this picture.
Yeah, they're right, and I don't know who made the argument about the age of a cartoon or a drawing, but does that do you calculate her age, but what's said in the source material, or by when the picture is drawn? Because if it was drawn on a Tuesday and today's Friday, she's 3 days old, baby.
It's so dumb, dude. Whenever the fucking Twitter police, the Twitter art police show up and start yelling about she's underage. It's like, stop calling it a she. It's
Isn't it?
a two-dimensional drawing of pixels. It's pixels on a screen, stupid.
It's not
Uh
even. Yeah, it's not even two-dimensional. It's literally pixels.
right. You're right. No, it's pixels. I mean, unless it's a traditional drawing, but even then, it's pixels. This isn't a person. You can't this person isn't being traumatized by being drawn this way. It's crazy. We're not attracted to we just pretend to be.
That fucking argument. Oh, I'm not a pedophile. Just pretend to. I use this drawing as an
Right.
excuse. Like, okay, mental gymnastics Olympic gold medal. Sit down. And just saying like, I know she is real. I know it. Well, she can always be real in your heart, mate. Or whatever you do in
Wow.
private.
It doesn't even have dimensions. It's completely imaginary. Yeah, no. It's wild.
Dude, fucking Tumblr
Bro, look at
shutting
this.
down is the worst thing that happened.
When the fuck are we finally going to receive a report button for I don't want to say the word on YouTube, but peds? Pedialyte.
Maps
Yeah, yeah. And
and
lolly content.
lolicon. Do you know what lolicon means, you dumb fuck?
It's fucking floating clothes. You stupid dickhead. God, man, this is
Oh
why
my god.
I fucking can't stand Twitter.
Yeah, and I just randomly caught this. I was just scrolling through art, and then I saw this, and I'm like, ooh, this is some fucking nice rendering. And then I read the captions, and I'm like, how the fuck did this get fucking attention on Twitter? It's
Dude,
just enjoying. Like,
this
there's
truly
little hentai on Twitter.
this annoys me so much. It makes me want to just draw more like worse. Well, somebody drew this with the panties down. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, what?
somebody drew this and they added a pair of panties down by her knees, and I was like, ooh, somebody's pushing them. But I like that. I
I
mean,
like that. Do it.
yeah, keep pushing the button.
We should join in and just have our panties down to our knees and like a fucking butt plug inside her, or a bad dragon dildo sticking out.
Well, somebody, all right here. Here's a question for the perverts who are familiar with the Invisible Girl from My Hero Academia, or just any Invisible Girl. If you put something inside of her, does it also become invisible, or can you see it through?
And I think it does become invisible because her organs are invisible and they're inside of her.
Her right, her organs are invisible.
She's not transparent. She's invisible.
But
So
would a butt plug disappear inside her, or would you see a butt plug floating around in there?
I think the butt plug would disappear and you just see
I think it would
the
disappear
gem
too,
part.
right? Because
Yeah, you don't see
when
like
she eats food, right?
it
Like the
disappears. Like
food,
imagine,
yeah,
dude,
you don't see
imagine
the
if you
food
saw the
in her
food
body,
digest.
right? Imagine if you saw like a floating turd in there.
Yeah.
You know,
So
no,
everything that
you're right.
is technically
Everything
inside
is
of her disappears. So
everything that's
you're just
inside
going to see
disappears.
like that outside bit with the gem on it on the butt plug.
Yeah, it would float as it isn't part of her. Oh, Xtuba says the opposite. I'm thinking because we've seen her eat and the food isn't a part of her until she digests it, but we don't see food being chopped up,
In her mouth, yeah.
in her mouth. If that's my argument. If we saw food being chopped up in her mouth, bump, 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 and then like as it goes down, it kind of disappears as it like it's digested and becomes a part of her, then I would say like, oh, okay, so like things kind of have to be a part of her body before and like they gain invisibility. But I think because we don't see that, I think I think anything that's in is disappeared.
This is the highly
I think
intellectual conversations we get to.
yeah, it would probably be like the tip of it would be visible. Exactly.
Yeah,
The little butt plug jewel, whatever like the end of it
yeah,
is, like Bill said.
yeah. Cause imagine if it was visible and she like enjoyed having like a giant bad dragon dildo inside her. Like a little gust of wind would terrify a lot of people.
Oh boy. All right, let's keep on chugging. What do we have next? Oh, okay. So this is comic book related. And this is in regards to specifically, this list is in regards to Superman, Son of Kal-El. For those of you who don't know, the writer Tom so and so, I don't give a shit. Bale, do you remember his name? Tom Hutchinson.
Tom Taylor, sadly.
Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is the guy who's writing Superman. They turned Superman's gay. They turned
Superman's
Superman's
son.
son gay. So Superman's son loves cock, which is whatever the fuck. It read as tokenism, and it read as honestly, it read as a marketing ploy more than
Yeah,
anything else,
it was just a cheap marketing gimmick.
and it worked. As oftentimes marketing gimmicks do, it grabbed the attention. It made people care for a handful of days. People outside of the comic book industry, which is a very small industry, they started writing about comic books, but not for anything of note, not because the comic book was really well written or anything like that, just because of the gimmick. The marketing gimmick achieved what it was meant to. It got the attention of corporate media. So corporate media told it, "Oh, Superman's son is gay. What do you say?" And people, people who speculate on the industry went out and bought the comic. Many, I'm assuming, bought it to eventually sell it the same way when Superman died, they did that. And now that comic book is
Yeah,
still worth garbage because they printed
it's
like
a
5 million of them.
it's a pivotal issue. So
Right.
of course it's gonna get bought.
Right. So the speculator market, they picked it up. A bunch of people also picked it up. It's pivotal. Yada yada yada. Superman's son's gay, and he's getting fucked in the ass in one episode. I wish that was the case. I wish we saw.
They don't have the balls to do that.
If they did
First,
that, I would have picked it up.
you know,
If we see,
out of respect, like if they had like a scene where fucking John takes it up in the ass and you see his
yeah,
old
I'm
face,
assuming
or
he's a
taking
bottom.
it taking it in the ass face, like
No, I want to
how
see him biting it down on a pillow, dude.
how do you
Handcuffed,
uh, what kind of god
kryptonite
power
handcuffs.
do you have to wield in order to penetrate a Kryptonian, even a half Kryptonian's
Well,
ass
nah,
though?
dude, you got to. He's got to have a kryptonite plug-in.
Just put on a kryptonite condom.
Imagine making a character gay and it being the main personality trait. Well, welcome to modern comic books. Well, actually, welcome
Yeah.
to modern media.
Welcome to modern Western media. Yeah, sadly,
Yeah.
it's been like this for like 6 years.
So that was episode. I keep saying episode. That was issue 5. Issue 5. You know,
It
Clark's
was around
son likes to
6.
suck cock. Right. It was right. Didn't issue 5 was a big gay kiss issue,
Yeah,
or is it?
and they had
Yeah.
like a giant splash page of a big gay kiss. It ranked
Yeah.
6th
Yeah.
in the monthly comic sales.
Congratulations. Congratulations, he's gay. Something that most mainstream people haven't given two fucks about in almost a decade. Uh, anyway, so they do this, blah 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 blah. Like I said, now the comic book on this list, the comic book debuted in the top 5. It was like top. It was like number
It was 6,
4,
I
number
think.
5.
It
6.
it
Okay,
was high. It was definitely in the top 10. It was very high up there. Like Tom
there
Taylor
you
bragged
go.
about, oh, it went to second printing, and people bought even the previous books, and yada yada yada. And we're
Right,
writing like, I think he said like we're writing like the third best DC book. And I'm
right.
like, okay,
So,
sure. Let's check up on next issue then.
so, so the marketing gimmick worked, and the comic book shot up. Now, previously to this, the comic book was on this list in the low 40s. So barely breaking the top 50 in the market. So like close to 50 in the ranking. Then it jumps up to number 6. Then they release the next month in December. They released the annual. The annual isn't a continuation of this story. It's a different story, but it's
That's something.
under the tail. It's a one-off. It's kind of a side quest story. That one plummets down back to the 40s. People say, hey, look, the book came out. Issue number 6 came out, and it's in the fucking 40s again. We told you it was a gimmick. And then Tom Taylor proceeds to go on Twitter and say, it's not the book, it's the fucking annual, you stupid dicks.
Which,
Eat
to
shit.
to his credit, that was a fair argument to make.
He was. It wasn't issue 6. It was issue 5.1. So okay. So he told me shut the fuck up. And he was right. So people said, okay, well, let's see what happens in January. So lo and behold, the January numbers come out. And anybody want to guess where it showed up? Issue number 6?
I think we had like a fourth prediction in our chat for next week. Okay, here it is.
Do we actually have a prediction?
Yeah. You said rank 15, and I said mid 30s.
Wow. Well, combine both of those almost. Because we were both wrong. It debuted in 42. Forget about top 10. Forget about top 20. Forget about top 30. There we go. So it shot back down. Way
Barely
the
in
fuck
there.
back down. It barely scraped its way in the top 50 list, which, well, I don't want to say I told you so, but I fucking told you so. People don't care. People don't care that he's gay one way or another. It was just, I was thinking it would be at the bottom of the sea. I mean, it's probably where the book should be.
You Tom Taylor at the bottom of the sea. But that's a different topic.
Yeah. And then this week when people were like, well, what do we say? Stupid. We told you your fucking book was going to be back in the 40s. It was,
Dude,
so this was the week for them. Yeah.
I was legitimately tempted to just open a sock puppet account, a burner account, just tweet this at him. And be like, where's your best-selling book now, dumbass?
Man,
I was
too
so
too bad you're
tempted.
banned by everyone in the comic book industry.
Yeah. Dude,
Blocked by, not banned.
I'm block potted. But that's why burner accounts exist.
Uh, all right, yes. So moving on, but here's the deal, dude. The true thing is, ever since Diamond fucked up in 2020 and stopped delivering books and made Marvel and DC go after other distributors like Penguin and whatever. Nobody knows what the numbers exactly are.
Oh yeah,
This
no,
is all
they stopped
guesswork.
reporting. Like yeah, the
Yeah, this
ICB2 like the best we can get, and even this is still a guesstimate. And here's the thing: even ICB2's like paid membership doesn't show unit sales, which I fucking hope it did. Because if it did, I
right.
was going to pay for it just for this month, just so we can have like the actual unit sales for Tom Taylor's dog shit book.
Right. During the period for which these reports were generated, there were over 100 stores using the Comic Hub system. This is a small, non random sample of over 3,000 stores selling American comics worldwide. So it's a small sample set. These numbers are not absolute, these numbers are just based on the sample. However, this is how they do TV show ratings. TV show ratings. Uh, in regards to like Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO Max, people don't know how many houses are watching that because these companies would fucking never go public with these numbers. Never
Oh yeah,
ever.
no.
It's because they'll tell you how many people watch them, and you're just gonna have to take their fucking word for it. Believe us, we're
Yes.
corporate media. You can take our word for it.
Yeah.
You trust us. You
They
can't.
only mention exact numbers. This is, credit to Perch who mentioned this earlier today. The only time a company in entertainment mentions numbers is when they're doing like super well and it's like a bragging right. Otherwise,
Exactly.
not a fucking peep.
They shut the fuck up. Mum's the word because they don't want to give that up because it was probably not as much as you'd think, but they'll tell
Yeah.
you otherwise. Anyway, so the Nielsen ratings, much like this, and there's another website that does it, they kind of give you it's all guesstimates. It's not exact. They have a sample set. They have a sample set and they monitor what they watch. Same thing like with this survey, and it's a best guess. But again, Tom Taylor was all about bragging about how great his shit was doing because on lists like this, he was on the top. And then once his book fell back into the shitter, barely breaking the top 50, plummeting to the bottom, just nosediving to the bottom after the gimmick, and people called him out for it. He then turned around and started saying, "Well, you can't believe these lists. It's only 3,000 comic book stores." It's like, go fuck yourself, you fucking. He's a, what is he, an Australian?
Yes.
You stupid fucking Australian cunt. You fucking meat pie slut. You fucking retard. Fucking asshole, man. Uh, anyway, Uh, that's now two comic book creators that we've shit on today: Tom Taylor and Joel Jones. Who's keeping track, right?
Yeah, it's
Let's.
not a nerd news if we don't shoot on some comic book creator, specifically
Yeah,
a writer. It's usually the
major.
writers who get up to no good because they seem to have like too much time on their hands because drawing a page a day requires you to actually sit down and fucking work even if you are tracing.
This has given me courage to become gay, says Mindrew. Finally.
And if you want to read
Oh,
about another character that Tom Taylor absolutely destroys, you can read Batman the Detective, which I've posted two
so
pages of it in the comic book channel on Discord. It got me mad. I'm tired of
this
art
is,
of writers abusing artists.
and this is an article that caught my eye. This
Bless
is
you.
non-nerd news related,
What do you mean? Joe Rogan
but
was. Joe Rogan wanted to draw comics when he was younger.
he did. So did Howard Stern, actually. Weirdly enough. Don't pretend you don't know what Joe Rogan is all about. So this is weeks after the fact. Mainstream corporate news, corporate media has been trying to cancel this man. They've been trying to kick him off his perch for, at this point, weeks. First, it was the quote unquote misinformation, and that didn't take. So, a company that specializes in political hit pieces and fighting made a video that went viral, and it was just Rogan saying the N word for like 15 minutes straight, more or less, and making a racially insensitive joke about black people, which again he did apologize for. It was
It's
over
also
a
a fucking
decade
joke.
ago.
It's also a
It,
fucking
wa-
joke.
it was a joke. It was a bad, shitty, racist joke. Uh, Not the first time it's been done, but it was in poor taste. So he apologized for it, and he also apologized for saying the N word. He doesn't like saying it anymore. I think personally, he was doing it in a informative way. He wasn't just hurtling off. He wasn't playing Xbox Live. He wasn't playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox Live.
You know,
He was just he didn't
I've
pull a
heard him say
PewDiePie.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't pulling a PewDiePie. He was literally he was using the word in context, in quotations,
Yeah.
referring to what other people had said. Which, by the way, I think should be fine.
Yeah, he's doing
Again,
a direct quote in context. N- Not like this video did, which probably put everything out of context and just did like a diss track on Joe Rogan using the N word.
right. But he apologized. He said his piece, which is okay. Listen, fair. He doesn't do that anymore. He disagrees with what he did in the past. He apologized. Fine. Uh, now they were relentless. Article after article was written, tweet after tweet was sent, and Spotify throughout the entire ordeal didn't bend. They, listen. They made their piece. They said, okay, there's stuff that he says and does that we disagree with, but we're not removing him from our platform.
Only a few
And he did.
episodes.
Well, apparently those episodes were, according to Spotify, taken down by Joe Rogan himself.
Oh.
So, and he didn't refute that. So it would seem that Rogan said, take these episodes down. And they did. And they came to a conclusion, and he still got their $100 million and still gets millions and millions, if not 10 more million viewers, listeners, than any CNN program that they have to offer.
Yeah, I don't
As
think
any,
I don't think they realize. I think what is called a Streisand effect, where the more you push to achieve one effect, you end up achieving the opposite. Like instead of
yes,
canceling Joe Rogan, they're just
I
making him
think they only
bigger
made
and
him more
bigger, baby.
powerful
Yes.
because the
And
overwhelming majority of people that I saw, um, were like, yo, what the fuck is this? This is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, because it seemed unnatural, right? That it was just like attack, attack, attack. You really only see this in politics, and now
Yeah.
apparently Joe Rogan. So here we've got another article written by some dickhead. Um, Here we go. Oh boy, editor's note. This is written by somebody by the name of Pineal Joseph.
I don't care.
Pineal Joseph is the Barbara Gordon chair is the Barbara Jordan Chair in Ethics and Political Values and the founding director of the Center for the Study of Race and Democracy at the LBJ School of Public Affairs at the University of Texas at Austin, where he's also professor of history. He's the author of the forthcoming book, The Third Reconstruction: America's Struggle for Racial Justice in the 20. Oh, get the fuck out of
Get
here,
the
dude.
fuck out of here with
Go
your
fuck
dumbass fuck.
yourself.
Open that book and shove your ass sideways. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Here's what you got to do. Open that book and then throw yourself out of a fucking window
Get
and take
trebuchet
this
into the
article with you.
sun. Yeah, for
The
the people who want to
controversy.
know what Rogan is about, I will tell you what. I will tell you what Joe Rogan is about. Joe Rogan is about jokes, chimpanzees, and DMT. That's it. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, this article goes on for fucking ever. I'll read the first couple sentences. The real issue isn't about whether to cancel Joe Rogan. Although some have advocated for Spotify to end its relationship in wake of the controversy, it's about exposing Rogan, who really is, and admitted that his brand of conversation, uh, which at times traffics, I can't do that voice, which at times traffics on conspiracy theories,
Hey, don't you
cultural
have a voice
intelligence,
mod?
and blatant racism. Yeah, it's so much work though for this dickhead. Not worth it.
Okay, fair enough.
Attracts millions of First off, uh, the real issue isn't about whether to cancel Joe Rogan. It's about exposing who Joe Rogan really is.
Yeah,
Well, then who the
the,
fuck does this guy think he is?
the real issue
Uh,
isn't about canceling him. I'm just gonna set a table of reasons for you to cancel him. I
Here we
fucking
go.
hate
Here we
this
go.
maneuver.
Rogan is, in fact, an agent of these social ills, which he packages and sends out to his audience,
Eros.
clothed in the language of moderation and moral equivalence. Okay, so this guy is right. So he thinks that Joe saying that he's just an average Joe, he isn't. He's working nefariously. He has very nefarious intent to
What
misinform
was
the
what was
populace.
that group's name? Oh, he is an agent of the intellectual dark web. He is a
Right.
gateway drug.
Yeah, he's fucking Hydra, dude.
Yes.
For example, in addition to his uses of the N word, Rogan has made waves by suggesting that you can never be woke enough. It'll eventually get to where white men are not allowed to talk, which is clearly a fucking joke. Obviously, it's even funny reading it. Okay. Oh my god, man, I can't read any more of this
It's
stupidity, dude.
it's
I can't,
stupid. You know that
dude.
meme
Somebody who's like
that
so, like idealistic and so blinded by that ideology that they refuse to go into any argument or debate or discussion with an open
yeah.
mind, or take things, or rather than analyze things, they go in with bad faith, right? So therefore, everything Rogan says isn't a joke. It's a statement of intent. Therefore, he is a monster. Therefore, he's a misinformer. Yada yada yada. Go fuck yourself. This guy sounds like a classic fucking race baiter too. Somebody,
It's
somebody who makes their bones, makes their money, makes their livelihood off the back of promoting division and amplifying and exacerbating that division. Uh, Go on.
yeah,
What are you
you know
saying?
that meme of leftist can't meme and it's like some crying dude with like a whole wall of text. This is what this article is. Like Joe Rogan made a joke and this guy's like we're like 30 pages on.
Here's the deal, man. They try to get rid of him,
It's
and
such
it didn't work.
tunnel vision ideology, which is it's a little NPC update. Oh, the update is that Joe Rogan is bad. So literally whatever he says should be reconstructed and put into as worst of a light possible. Like it, this is the Dina Cola stream, stupid. But anything you
All
say
right,
here can be reinterpreted in whatever Cola likes. But
so this is
the,
what he said back. The answer is to do better, not silence me. Joe Rogan criticized left-wing media, tells CNN to give viewers objective news, and slams Don Lemon and Brian Stelter as people that nobody listens to.
which
Now,
is
I
fucking
haven't listened.
correct.
Listen, I have to be honest. I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, but not religiously, not often. I primarily listen when he has other comedians on. I've said this before. I do listen to Spotify, mostly music, but sometimes listen. If I don't want to read anime or watch anime, I just want to have something that isn't too distracting while I'm working. I like having a podcast on, and I like the way Joe Rogan just hangs out and pals around with his friends. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. I think it makes me long for the days where I used to fucking have my boys over and fucking crack a few beers and shoot the shit, play video games, uh, smoke a couple cigarettes or other
Especially when
substances.
Bill is there, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and just fuck around, dude. So anyway, but I haven't listened to his stuff recently. But apparently on Thursday's episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan said CNN had lost viewers' trust, and it's why more people believe or trust me or want to listen to me talk. And it's true.
Yeah,
He
because
truly doesn't seem like he has an agenda to me.
here's the thing: Joe Rogan isn't telling people what to think. He's just seeking information and bringing in people with said information that he's looking to get a hold of. Then here's the hard part, children. Then you gotta think for yourself. Then you're gonna go with the Hodge twins. what is it, like calling card? This is all information, and you do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. If you want to
Rogan,
take, if you
whose
want to improve
podcast
yourself, do it. If you want to just call Joe Rogan bad because Joe Rogan bad because that's the NPC update, well, that's on you.
Rogan, whose podcast is the most listened to on Spotify, sparked a firestorm of criticism for his views on the COVID-19 vaccine. Listen, again, who gives a fuck what a cage fighting commentator slash comedian has to say about the fucking the fucking
Whatever
the
it is.
shots or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Look, again, why do we need to baby people? If you're
Yeah.
so fucking stupid that you take this man's word over the word of your doctor or whatever other person you might trust, informed, educated person you might trust, if you want to take his word over theirs, God, good luck to you, you fucking lunatic. But again, that's on you. Why the fuck? Why do we have to baby people, adults? Why does it? Oh, you listen. You can't listen to him. He has a differing opinion. It's like, all right. Well, I know that, and I'm an adult, and I'm perfectly fine hearing his point of view. Maybe questioning my own, maybe not questioning my own, maybe just listening to his point of view and saying, oh, okay, interesting that how he thinks about that, or not. But that's my fucking choice. Who I listen to, how I listen to them, how I take in the information that they provide. Maybe I completely disagree with him. Maybe I might even be more informed. I mean, I'm not. But hypothetically, a lot of the scientific data is out there. Read it. Fucking read it for yourself or trust professionals that tell you otherwise. But again, I hate this. I hate the mentality of everything must be censored, everything must be moderated, everything must be restricted by other people, people other than you, for your well-being. Corporate media or the state is going to tell you what you can and cannot experience and how you should experience that. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what
Where the fuck do you
happened
get off?
to. I don't. I don't know what happened to the rebellious American spirit, but for as long as I've remembered myself, I've noticed this continued coddling of the American populace, and I just keep asking myself, fucking why? I mean, the obvious part is, easier to control and yada 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 yada, but think for yourself for a second.
Yeah, no.
It's not that hard. It's not that scary. It's just, hey, the
Yeah,
government
think
says that
for
two
your
and two is
fucking self.
five. You know, just look it up. I'm gonna use their own words against them. Lisa, read, motherfucker.
Yeah, no.
English is your first
Fucking
language.
insane.
Fucking read.
In fucking sane. Uh, let's see. Rogan went after the left wing media, and here's the thing about him shitting on CNN. He's right. He's absolutely right. His podcast gets about 11 million viewers on average. The most rated CNN show gets maybe a mil or two, if that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Literally 10 times.
Right. So yeah, he's got 10 times their fucking audience, and they don't like it. But here's why they really don't like it. The reason why he was subjected to this hit piece, this attack, and it was an attack, and it was a multi-staged attack, and it was slowly trickled out. Stage one, misinformation. Stage two, racism. Stage three, I don't know, man. People writing nothing but op-eds and social media attacks on him. None of it stuck. Thankfully, thankfully, we live in an age where people have woken up enough, not woke people, but have woken up to the bullshit, to the true misinformation from lunatics who work in politics, in media combined, for the state itself, or like I said, or just have their own weird corporate agenda or ideology that they're willing to push. Really, what this all boils down to is elections. They don't like, and I mentioned this earlier in the week. They don't like that Rogan has a voice, and he does dabble in politics as well. It's not just about the pandy and
No, no,
the shot and all that.
He had
Yeah.
Tosi, he had Bernie on. I think
Mm-hmm.
he also had that the one-eyed guy from Texas. I think he's from Texas. I
Yeah.
keep forgetting his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that
Like,
fucking
here's the
Cyclops
thing.
on.
I think the most money mainstream media makes it during elections when they host the debates. But those debates are like the whole system is like wildly ineffective and inefficient. Joe Rogan can literally say, "Hey, you two candidates, come on my podcast. We can go for like 10 hours if you want, and let's hold a civil conversation and let's get shit
Well,
done."
here's the thing. He may or he may not. He might not want to do that at all because guess what? He didn't.
Yeah, but the danger of
Back
it is
during the
still
last
there.
primary. Back during the last primary, um, I mentioned this earlier in the week. He had on some candidates that he was curious about, like Bernie Sanders and whomever else.
Tosi.
He heard them out. He
Tosi
heard
can
them
get
out,
it.
and he wanted to hear their point of view. Now, what ended up happening was, come time for other candidates like Kamala Harris, like Joe Biden, he was reached out to by their people to have them on his show, which gets millions and millions and millions of viewers. And he, I'm assuming, politely told them to, well,
Go.
fuck off.
Yeah.
He didn't want it. He didn't
Imagine
want
a
anything to do with them.
podcast with Sleepy Joe now.
Right, but like they wanted to use his platform,
Yeah,
and he he in this instant had the power and the reach and didn't want any fucking thing to do with them whatsoever. He doesn't need them. He's never needed them, and I'm just going to assume he doesn't like them. That's just my
yeah.
assumption. He's never
Because
said it.
the age-old law of the Joe Rogan podcast is that he invites people who he finds interesting, and he wants
Yes.
to talk to them. If you do not fit that very simple rule, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. No, it's true. He likes who he likes, and I don't think he likes them. uh, I don't know. There's just to point out that he can, just by bringing people on that he enjoys, perhaps sway millions of votes. And
Yeah,
this has not escaped the view of people who deal in this sort of thing.
yeah, and
Lobbyists,
I
corporate
think they,
shills,
I think they got
media
one
shills.
of that danger that I think it was like last year or maybe 2020. He had Jocko on, and Joe went, "Hey, when is your ass gonna run for president? The people are asking for it. Are we getting Jocko 2024?" And I think that's when even the biggest idiots in corporate media were like, "Oh, that comedian, the Fear Factor guy, can actually be a threat to everything we've built." Because yeah,
Yeah,
imagine Jocko is
he's a
like,
threat.
"Hey, I'm gonna run," and Joe is like, "You know what? Come on my podcast. We're gonna shoot the shit for 3 hours. We're gonna get you this election, baby."
Joe Rogan caught some support this week.
Oh, that's new.
The groundswell of criticism surged after he hosted two vaccine skeptic scientists in mid to late December, and the host of famous faces such as Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, famous faces, famous maybe 40 years ago, announced they were taking their music off the site. Who gives a shit? Rogan was not without support. On Thursday, comedian Jon Stewart came to the defense of Rogan over calls to cancel him over vaccine misinformation on his own podcast. The problem with Jon Stewart, former host of Comedy Central Daily, said canceling Rogan would have been like banning him from television back in 2003 when he was one of the few vocal opponents to the war in Iraq. Oh yeah, Jon
Good.
Stewart gotten all kinds of heat for standing up for
Oh,
Rogan.
oh, of course it's gonna get. Did you see that some other company offered Joe Rogan 10 million to host his show on their platform instead?
Yes, I did. I did hear that. I wasn't sure what to make of it.
A Chad move
Uh,
nonetheless.
no, a ballsy move, and I mean, he politely turned them down. He politely turned them down because, well,
Go
it's not good
contract.
logistics. They don't. Yeah, they just. I mean, they're not a podcast platform. They're like a social media company, and I mean, he does video and all that. Like again, that's a wild pivot, right?
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good over on Spotify, right? The and they stood by him. They did
Yeah.
remove some
And,
some of
and
his episodes.
and here's the thing:
Apparently his choice.
if
Yeah.
Spotify do fuck up and Joe Rogan does leave, he can literally just build his own website,
Yes.
JoeRoganExperience.com, pay-per-view or like free with ads, whatever it is. He can literally be ungovernable and not require not YouTube nor Spotify nor anyone.
Which leads us to, let's say, New York Times is right. Was a giant purveyor. The New York Times, right, was a giant purveyor of misinformation and disinformation. Stewart said, and that's as vaunted a media organization as you can find. But there was no accountability for them. He said if the
Yeah,
powers that be had sided with mainstream news organizations who had been criticized for reporting the Bush administration's claims that justified the U.S. invasion of Iraq, he too would have been canceled. Couldn't I have gone down and fallen down? Couldn't I have gone down and fallen down this if Viacom and Comedy Central had wanted to censor me or had wanted to take me off the look? I'm not owed a platform. Nobody is. But my point is, these are shifting sands. And I think I get concerned with, well, who gets to decide? Yeah. The answer is, this is what he said. This is what Rogan said. The answer is not to silence me. The answer is for you to do better.
yeah.
The answer is
The,
for you to have better arguments when you're on television talking about how I'm taking horse paste and you know that's not true. He's taking horse dewormer. What you should have said, how did Rogan get better so quick? How come he got COVID that's killing everyone and he was better in 5 days, negative in 5 days, working out in 6 days? How come that's never discussed?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to read this anymore, but you get the idea.
It's a lot easier to say that the other side is shit instead of you saying, "Hey, I can do better. I can improve." Because improving takes actual work.
It does.
Speaking of things that are shit, the
Yeah,
Boba
that's
Fett finale.
Boba Fett. I've got mixed opinions on the finale. Some people say like the critical drinker just fucking hated it seemed like he hated just about every goddamn thing. I'm not that fucking jaded when it comes to the series. The series, listen, it had flaws, lots of flaws. However, it did a lot of awesome stuff too. It wasn't just unwashable shit from start to finish. It was actually a lot of fun. Could it have been better? Could have been
Oh,
better
absolutely.
executed? Absolutely. But again, I think Skullbash and I talked about this yesterday. It's about, honestly,
Power,
about a
drive.
7. It's a
I
it's a
wouldn't
six
rate
and
it
a
as.
half, 7.
Here's the thing though. I could rate it a 6.5, especially when I'm looking at the Mandalorian episodes that were in this.
Right.
Like if you
I mean,
cut
that's
the
yeah.
Mandalorian episodes out, this is a fucking 3.
See, you cut the Mandalorians out. I'm putting it at a 5.
Yeah,
uh,
and this finale, I joined in on the Book of Boba Fett per your request at episode 5. I hadn't watched the previous episodes, but I've watched everything from then to the finale. In the two Mandalorian season 3 episodes, 0.2 and so on, were great. This finale was boring. Like
it was boring. Like, God, I feel
oftentimes
like
the combat
the
was
editing, man.
nonsensical, and
Where was the editing? Like, it went like it was slow, and then like this like, but even during like the explosive finale, right? You have a rancor, you've got these droids. It was just
during
like it was so
that
slow paced.
it was slow. There were no stakes. There was no weight to what was happening because when they were backed up in
None.
that corner by the droids, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to feel anxious about it because they're backed up in a
Hmm.
very stupid position that they shouldn't have been in to begin with.
Yeah.
But the droid shot once, it chipped the wall, and it never happened again. And those are like giant ass droids, and like they barely have any firepower in them. Like they shoot very slow.
Yeah. No.
It's very weak. It's what the
But dude, another thing, man, dude. And again, Critical Drinker made some great, excellent points about just the show in general. But even like the fighting back here, like there were some like plot holes in the story that were strange. One that I picked up was, now this is because I'm a giant dork and love Star Wars, but those droids were based off the droids clearly that were used to fight in the Clone Wars. Now, Bale, those shields, we've been seeing those shields since the Phantom Menace. Now, there's a way around those shields. So I'm going to get a little nerdy with you here, but here,
Go on.
the force field, right? Energy weapons can't pass through. So no lasers, no Jedi blades. You can't push those because they're anti-energy, right?
Is that also the dark
So
blade? Is it
that
energy?
would
I don't
also,
know.
yeah,
I don't know what it is.
yeah. They're energy weapons, right? They're like they just exist as like solid energy for a bit. So that is a dark saber too. The dark saber is a lightsaber. The dark saber is just a Mandalorian style lightsaber. It
It's a
just exists on its own.
lightsaber with attitude.
Right, exactly. But essentially, it's a lightsaber, so it can't get through anyway. But what can go through is something softly, which is weird. But when you see it walks, it can walk in between walls and stuff, and the wall will go inside the thing as well. You can actually see it in the show when it walked over some boxes, and the shield goes over the boxes. That's how you get into it. Now, how clone troopers would fight those droids in the past is they would take something that they could roll up like a ball, like a grenade. And there was a specific. I remember watching this in the Clone Wars. They were teaching, I think, Ahsoka how to do it. You take a grenade, Bale, and then you roll it like you would a bowling
Well,
ball almost.
yeah,
And what happens is because we saw Boba Fett shoot a missile at it, right? And a missile isn't a laser thing. A
but
missile
it's
is a ballistic
fast.
weapon, right? But it's fast, right? So there's way
Yeah,
too much
they mentioned
kinetic
in the show.
energy.
He's like, yeah, yeah, well, like our kinetics are too fast. I'm like, oh, that's it. I
Right,
mean, I didn't know this
right.
detail,
So
but
yeah,
when you
so
mentioned it, I was like,
bullets wouldn't
oh,
go
that's
through it
interesting.
because the force and velocity mean that it's
Yeah,
got
it's
lots
too
of
high.
kinetic energy. So
Yeah,
it's too. So what happens? So too much kinetic energy and regular energy weapons? No, no, no. But what you can do is you could make it seem like an inanimate object is going there. So it's the bowling ball grenade. You roll not too fast because too fast means kinetic energy and it'll get. But you roll it slow enough and direct enough that it rolls into the shield, gets past the shield, and then blows them up. It's the perfect maneuver. They coined it in the Clone Wars. Now I'm gonna tell you now. All right, now that you got that in your head, the Mandalorian. I don't know if you remember from the first season. The Mandalorian is orphaned. Do you know why he's orphaned?
because wasn't it like those same robots or droids that killed
Those
his like
fucking
family?
droid, dude. That's right. The fucking droids working for the Separatists. The Separatist droids murdered his family in cold blood. Now you would imagine a man who hated robots that whole first season, hated them, right? Whose family was literally gunned down by droids. You think he would know exactly how to get
Yeah,
past the shields of those droids.
yes,
You
yes.
assume,
Specifically, that model that killed his family. Like,
right? Yeah,
imagine,
dude.
you're Batman and your parents get
Right.
not gunned down, but let's say killed in London by a knife attack. Like the first thing you learn is how to stop a knife attack.
Mm. And I'm not. It'd be one thing if Din Djarin decided to become an accountant. Then I'm like, you wouldn't expect the guy who became an accountant, space accountant,
Yeah, but
to
he's a
know exactly
mercenary.
how to disarm the thing that. But he's not. He's a fucking merc, dude. He's a bounty hunter who hates robots. A bounty hunter who hates robots because his robots murdered his parents. He is the one who doesn't know how to stop these droids. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
It's-
I haven't heard anybody say that critique,
yeah, and
but
then
I'm like, yo,
when the Rancor's fighting the droids and it finally breaks through the chute, I don't know if the chute has like a capacitor or something, but here's the thing though. That mass also has kinetic energy, even if it isn't
mm-hmm,
moving as
mm-hmm.
quickly as a missile or as a bullet.
I think we're meant to believe that like it's so powerful and relentless that like obviously the
Yeah.
shield must have limits, right? It's not unlimited energy. So I'm guessing that's what my guess is that the Rancor had so much force that it was too much for the shield to
And
absorb.
it just literally went through the shields with like brute
Yeah,
force.
yeah, brute force,
But dude,
brute force, right?
there's so many things that I just found annoying,
Tell me.
nonsensical, and out of place. Like the Skittle Squad. The Skittle Squad should have died there.
Yeah,
And by Skittle Squad, I mean like the super colorful gang. And I'm like, You people don't look like you belong in this universe. Like you're way
Yeah,
too
yeah, no,
bright and
dude, that was such a
saturated.
weird creative choice, man. I don't know why they added the Vespa gang that looked like, that one girl that looks like Joan Jett on a Vespa. She even's got like a studded leather jacket and all that. It just seems
Fucking
out of place. It
hot
seems like
topic
it
punk
seems like
gang.
it seems like they belong in like Blade Runner or something like that.
Yeah,
It was a weird aesthetic choice. I don't dislike them. Like, obviously it's Tatooine, it's Mos Espa, it's Mos Eisley. Dude, this is a really poor, you're in the Outer Rim, it's poor as hell. Of course there would be roving gangs of wayward youths, right?
yeah, but
Obviously, like it
they
makes sense.
wouldn't
But why
talk in
do
a
they look like
posh
that?
accent, I think.
Yeah, yeah. How do they have,
And it,
yeah, high end British accents? And by the way, very expensive, clean looking vehicles
yeah,
like a
for a
teenage
desert
biker gang,
and a
a
desert
desert, a
planet.
teenage
I-
desert biker gang in the
In the
middle of nowhere in
poor
space.
in the poor end of the desert planet on top of
Yeah,
that.
no, yeah, no. I'll tell you this: if we met a badass gang of mods, like modified cyborg, which again is cool by me, but if they were on Coruscant, dude, if they were in the capital, that would even make more sense, right?
Yeah.
Because we've been there, dude. We've been there in the Phantom Menace. We've seen those floating highways, and they're full of all kinds of weird vehicles. If we saw them there, that would make way more fucking sense. Or even if they explain it like, "Oh, hey, we're from Coruscant. We just happened to end up on this shithole. We were banished from the capital for a reason, or like, give us a reason
Yeah,
why
make
they
it
are the only people on Tatooine that like carry on like that. Like, where they even get that? Where do they even get those bikes? I don't know.
yeah,
It's very nitpicky,
dude,
but I don't like it.
it's just me as a not Star Wars fan notice it, so I don't think it's nitpick. It's just stating the obvious, and the strength levels of that Wookiee, wow, inconsistent. Like people are pulling knives at him, he's just staring at them for a
He
while.
took a lot of.
He has a ranged weapon. He allows the motherfuckers with knives to walk up on him, and then he starts shooting. Just fucking stupid. He got shot like
That
50
that could have been
times
executed better. That could have
in
been
front
executed
of him.
because I could see him being overwhelmed. Right? He is just a being. Right? Like, he might be the strongest. He might be the size of a, you know.
He,
I think he's
isn't
even
he
bigger than
also a
Chewie.
merc? Isn't he also a merc? Like,
He is. He's a bounty hunter. So
yeah,
like,
how's the?
again, I could see him. But I
I
could
can
still
see
see
him
him
getting
being overwhelmed.
yeah,
Swarmed.
swarmed
Yeah.
by numbers, sure, but that initial slow reaction was very like I was like, wait, this guy's supposed to be this bad motherfucker, and he's just allowing these people to walk up on him armed, and I'm
Yeah, I
like,
think yeah, I
fucking
truly I
shoot.
think it was just like the execution was poor. Like, if we saw like 50 extras run out and he took like the first 10 out quick, but then like he just like got caught up by,
He got
that would make
swarmed.
a hunt
Yeah,
right. That would make 100% sense. And you'd be like, "Oh my god, like he butchered a lot of them. He ripped a lot of limbs off, but at the end they got him because of course." And then if you did the same thing though, and you see him like walking away and he's still murdering these guys as he's dragging them and he's got like their corpses on him, that would have been like, that still works, but it's just the execution of it. Like, the idea of it works, but like, which
yeah, just
makes me led to believe that perhaps, is it Robbie Rodriguez, dude? Did Robbie Rodriguez fucking lose his
if he loses
creative
mojo,
yeah, right?
or is
Does Robbie
this
Rodriguez suck now?
or is this as you speculate like a series mandated from above, and they're like so don't want to do this that they're just going through the numbers like and not just
I don't know,
putting in
man,
their
because dude,
mojo, like
because
just
one
surface
sense you
level.
can't be like, it's weird. It's so weird, and I've never seen this before. Whereas, like I said, I love those two Mandalorian episodes. I think
Yeah,
they were great. Um, so it's weird. It's so strange, and I like, imagine there is literally nothing we can compare this to. Like, just the amount of like, just the
not
juxtaposition
caring.
and
It
like
literally looks like
yeah,
he didn't care.
it's so strange. It doesn't
And
seem like there's any love in this.
yeah,
Not nearly as much love as there was for Mandalorian.
yeah, and Boba Fett as a character, this finale didn't seem like a badass mercenary to me. Like every decision was not made by him. Literally everyone can talk over him and question his orders and
Yeah,
decisions. Like
he
the
wasn't
re
assertive at all. He
yeah.
didn't feel like, he didn't feel like a leader.
No, he was just like the old man who was he was literally
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe. Like people just told the old man where to go. Like the Skittle Squad just, oh no, we're gonna stay in the ruins of this place just because. And I'm like,
Yeah, no,
that
it was
that's not a good military decision. Like, that sound like stupid tactics. Like, we're gonna
yeah,
stay
no, it
here
was
just
just
cause like the place got
it
blown
just
up
didn't
yesterday.
feel
Tuts.
like Boba Fett at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he's the Mandalorian. That's why he can't have two of the same character in there.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Boba Fett, but like even Boba Fett as the wise, older, more refined bounty hunter, I didn't get any of that either, man. It just seemed like he was lost the entire time. And if anything, Fennec Shand is the one. Like, if
Yeah,
you told me, like, all right, you need to hire a bounty hunter and you can't hire the Mandalorian, I'm going for Fennec Shand. She
yeah.
was a fucking bad bitch, dude. Uh, there's a scene where at the very end, right, the Pikes, um,
Yeah, she murders him.
where the Pikes are murdered in cold blood, and I was literally on the couch and like, fucking, finally, Boba Fett does something fucking badass. That's what I said. I swear to God, I said that out loud. I'm like, oh, finally, you get ruthless Boba Fett's back, dude. He's just
I thought
murdering
the
all these
same.
people
No,
because he has all the incentive to murder those people
yeah, because they
that
betrayed him to
killed
begin with.
they killed his Tusken Raiders and betrayed him. Like, they're the ones behind all that. Of course, Boba Fett would do that because he murdered that entire gang of bikers for doing that. And it was really the only like truly badass thing we saw him do, and it wasn't even that badass because he was just mowing them down in his spaceship rather than get his
Oh,
hands dirty.
which he also didn't decide to use while he was being raided.
Oh God, right? Yeah, why not use Slave One, dude? It's just
Uh,
it's like, yeah, but
ex-
why would Fennec do that? Did he send her to assassinate them? Like,
actually,
is that
it's
what he
not
was doing?
slave one. It's something else now.
Right, but like, no, like, did Fennec like
I
was
don't
what
I don't know. She just
was he?
bolted. And
She
when
like
she
well,
bolted,
she's like a ninja.
literally 3 seconds before she bolted, there were people on the roof facing the entryway where she left, and I'm like, how did she not get shot right there? Like
Weird.
the cowboy guy was literally there with people on the roof, and like 5 seconds later, she just leaves. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
did
dude.
people
Like
just
this.
leave their advantageous positions? It's just so nonsensical, and the fighting was boring. Like I could see that. Oh,
I
they're
like the
in a bad
Rancor
spot.
stuff though. For the most part, I thought that was pretty cool.
It was okay, but it came out of nowhere, and since I hadn't seen it before, it felt like an aspo. But if it
Yeah,
was
no.
established
Listen.
before in the series, I was
They had
yeah.
built it up a little bit in the
I-
beginning.
if it's
Him running a
established, then
Rancor.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, besides the Rancor, like even the Baby Yoda part where he shows up and like he pulls a joint out of the droid to save Mando, what felt for like, oh, I get it, Baby Yoda's back. He has powers. Now we're going to repeat the entire Rhino scene for like was it episode one? And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I get it. It's member berries, but I can see it's forced. It didn't feel good. Like Baby Yoda jumping into Mandalorian's arms, that was fucking adorable as all hell.
See,
That was
now
great.
I like that, but I did see. I like that, but but that all that happening in the middle of a battle, it undercuts all the emotion.
Yeah,
So like,
it's I can see I
Mando and
can see it.
Grogu reuniting, even Grogu choosing the armor, all of it completely undercut because they're in the middle of this goofy battle and they're being silly, and which is, by the way, very funny. And I like Amy Sedaris as that Richard Simmons looking fucking Beck, and like her losing her falling down and like losing a tooth and spinning a tooth. It was very. I was laughing really hard at that. It was so stupid.
The action comedy bits with her
Mhm.
were great.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
have
yeah.
a
She's like,
point
what?
that they're trying to
Yeah,
mix action comedy with like, very big heartfelt emotions. I'm like, yeah, I
yeah.
can see
No,
how
no, that was a
that's
bad
not a
call.
good mix.
Yeah, no, like Mando and Grogu should have had their. I feel like they deserve to have their moment because this is them. This is essentially father and son reuniting. Where it didn't seem like they, for all Mando knows, he would have gone decades without seeing Grogu,
Probably the
um,
rest of his life.
or perhaps the rest of his life, if ever. And that was really one of the decisions that were about to be made because, as we talked about, Grogu, his lifespan is so long. His species lived for 900 years. So he's got at least
Yeah.
another 800 plus years to go of life. And Luke saying that your life is so long that it's a small bit of time for you is it a lifetime for someone else. So you might never see the Mandalorian again. that is very well real. For Grogu, these days will just pass away like sands in the wind, and he might miss his father. So like this is really touching, heartfelt, emotional stuff. And it's just like, we can't talk right now. There's a rancor. And it's like, fuck, man, I just lost a
Yes.
tooth.
Yeah, I think they
I don't
should
know,
have
man.
left the reunion probably at the end when everything's settled so they can have like the
Yeah.
proper moment instead of it being mixed in with like everything else.
Honestly, dude, what I would have done in hindsight, I would have had Grogu. I would have saved it. I would have said
Yeah.
I would have left Grogu out of this entirely, and I would have figured out better ways, better, more um, command more stratagem. I would have had Boba win through you know clever stratagem warfare
Yeah.
rather than
Like
just
sees
Deus Ex Grogu show up.
yeah,
Uh,
like a seasoned veteran like we have in Reddit here like yeah, Boba Fett the turned terrible and yeah, he has Grogu has 850 years left because at the start of the Mandalorian he is told that the target is
yeah,
50 years old.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, he does. So I understand why Grogu returned, but I think it would have been better. Save this. They gave us a taste of the Mandalorian season 3. Those are some great couple episodes. My favorite episodes of Boba Fett are the Mandalorian. Save it for episode. Give us an episode 1, and then show us Grogu choosing the armor, and then go from there. Fuck, man. This is so. It was just so undercut. It was just too much. It was this weird combination of too much happening in the show, and also it being slow and boring at the same time. So crazy.
Yes, it's such a wild combination, especially from creators such as these guys. Like you'd never
Yeah, no, these are
think
top
that
tier
that
creators.
Favreau and Rodriguez would put out such shit.
Yeah, I know, man. I truly I've been racking my brain over how lackluster the writing has been from John Favreau. I could only I my best guess is one, his heart wasn't in it,
Yeah,
and two, it was demanded of him, not by Disney, to do this for toys. And three, I think it was I've got the feeling it was rushed.
uh,
All of
yeah,
this feels rushed.
yeah. Like I can see it, and I don't know, man. I hope there's no season two, because if we're gonna get a Boba Fett season two, it's just gonna probably be the same bullshit with like a couple of Mandalorian episodes to tie it together so that it's not complete and utter crap.
Yeah. All right, how about
But
this?
yeah,
Are you excited for Obi-Wan? Because that's the next series.
hell no.
I'm fucking up.
Ever
Yeah.
since
Wait,
they
wait, wait.
announced ever since they announced all those Star Wars properties and series, I was like, I don't fucking care, dude. I just want more Mando.
Dude, you know what, man? I'm super excited for. I'm excited for Ahsoka, and I'm excited for Obi-Wan.
Dude,
I'm
she is
looking forward
so
to both of
hot
them.
in the Ahsoka makeup, even with the tails and everything. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting the actress's name, but she can get it.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I
Dude,
didn't get it.
dude, when Amy Sedaris was like, "Hey, nice head tails," to that fucking one dude, I fucking had me rolling, man.
Okay, yeah, that was hilarious. And Chaos asks, why is it that the Skittles squad look more Star Trek than Star Wars?
I know, but all right. Well, hear us out, man. We just talked about them, and I'm like, dude, they look like they belong on Coruscant. Like, if there's anywhere in
Coruscant?
Star Wars where those how the fuck do you say the capital's name?
I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not a nerd.
Is it Coruscant? Coruscant? I don't. What you know what the fuck I'm talking? Coruscant?
Coruscant.
Coruscant? Uh, the fucking yeah, the capital city,
The big
whatever
city.
you want to call it, the big shitty planet. Yeah. That's where they, if anything, they look like they belong there, not on the outer rim in a fucking bodunk desert planet where everybody's poor as fuck, and
Yeah,
essentially got meth heads running through there.
yeah, yeah. Even if you do get yeeted off there with your fancy shiny clothes, how long do you think it's gonna take for a desert to
Dude,
dull that out?
Dude, this is like, you know what, dude, watching those hipster Vespa riding pastel colored mods in on Tatooine and most, driving through Mos Eisley, uh Mos Espa. Uh dude, and Freetown. Seeing them there is the equivalent of us taking a trip to like an abandoned coal mining town where it's full of meth and junkies and trailer parks, and then seeing a couple of kids riding in their Teslas. Like that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah. I imagine you and me roll up in our cyber trucks.
Right? It's like check, yeah. It's like wait, yeah. It's like you got a meth head, you got a crack whore over there, and then somebody rolls up on like some electric bike, some like high end like Tesla style motorcycle. And just like what? Why? How?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
And you
In like
mentioned
posh British accents too.
toys, but as far as I've seen so far, Star Wars toys haven't been selling, excluding probably Baby Yoda and the Mando. So I don't know what toys are you gonna sell from this piece of shit. Like, are you going to use
I will
this
say this:
to sell a
I
Baby
like, dude.
Grogu
I,
toy with a
I gotta
chainmail?
say, I love this Boba Fett. This Boba Fett look.
Also, it's a new
The
Boba Fett.
modern armor, the black, the black
Oh,
underneath. I think that looks. I think this might be as far as aesthetically. Aesthetically, I think this is my favorite Boba Fett look
yeah, I do like the
compared to the
darker
other.
look. So yeah, so this
Yeah,
whole shit just for one new Boba Fett toy, and
bro. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it, but
possibly a new Baby Grogu toy that has a chainmail underneath its flower bag.
yeah, no, we didn't get much out of this. We got the N1 Naboo Starfighter though. That's pretty fun. That's probably a
Oh
fun
yeah,
toy for somebody to pick up.
yeah, oh, that's gonna be a Lego piece. You know those
Yeah,
giant,
I
super
was gonna say
expensive Lego pieces? Yeah,
that's gonna be a
it's gonna
fun
be
Lego
that.
set for somebody to build. Not me, but somebody. All
Would you
right.
not like to
Well,
build a Lego set?
I don't have the space for it. Like again, like I would have to
Yeah,
build it. I
that
would
is
have to
true.
build it and then tear it down. Um. Okay. So final thoughts. Give me a rating of Boba Fett 1 to 10.
Oh Jesus Christ! It's a fucking 6.5, only because it has
Yeah.
two Mandalorian
Two
season 3
Mandalorian episodes.
episodes.
Yeah. Same.
Otherwise, it's 3.
This you and I we are in consensus. 6.5.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, no, fucking man, they really dropped the ball on this, and thank God they added those Mando episodes. Otherwise, this would have been near unwatchable.
I
Okay,
mean, I
you
wouldn't have
ready for
watched it
some?
otherwise. Because I only watched it because you were like, "Hey, they have Mando episodes. You gotta watch it." And I'm like, "Okay,
Dude, I told you that one because I wanted us to talk about, but two because I know you like Mandalorian, and
yeah, I
they
enjoyed it."
truly did a disservice to any Mandalorian fan that has no interest in the show is going to start Mandalorian season 3, and if they didn't watch this, they're going to be shit out of luck. They're going to be like, wait, what happened? He's got armor now. He can use the Force. What the fuck? Like yeah. If you miss these episodes of Boba Fett, you will literally be super fucking confused, and that also is a reason why I can't take away points from Boba Fett. But I don't like that. I don't like that they did that to fans. If anything, do like the Mugen train. D- Take those two episodes, turn them, just put them together. Say there's an extra long episode of Boba Fett. Call it Boba Fett's, prequel or not prequel, like season 3 point, season 2.5. So they watch these two episodes and then kick off the show. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It felt like bullshit to do to people that don't watch Boba Fett or had no interest in watching it. I don't
yeah.
like that they would feel forced. Yeah,
Chaos on it is like 3, maybe a 4,
yeah.
which I can
That's real.
understand. Yeah,
Listen,
and
I'm not gonna.
those are Shrek and Star Wars.
Yeah, I will. If you did not like that, if you did not like Boba Fett, I completely understand.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd
well,
have
dude, I
no
saw.
points of contention.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna get an argument from me at all because I completely understand. Dude, I saw Doomcock, man. I don't know if you watch his YouTube, but Doomcock, when this episode posted, he the video he posted was something like I can't watch Star Wars anymore. He's like this
Oh
is
Jesus.
I've lost all faith because he was hoping Grogu would pick up the lightsaber because by Grogu picking up the lightsaber, that would grant the wish of many hardcore Star Wars nerds who were hoping for retconning, the retcon of the sequel trilogy. So the Kathleen Kennedy Disney. trilogy. They want that to be undone,
Yeah.
and they were hoping
And
that
it was
yeah,
Yoda's saber on top of that one. And I knew it was gonna be his, from the get go, because it's a good way to
yeah,
use member berries. Like, continue his legacy. God fucking damn it. And
yeah.
Chaos in the Reddit chat mentions that they had internal reviews, so they had to have known that this wasn't good, unless they just felt like their shit didn't stink. Which, hey, I also
Maybe.
wouldn't be surprised, because it's fucking Favreau. They can do no wrong.
Yeah, no, man, this was not good. I'm still excited for the Mandalorian. I'm still excited for Ahsoka. Still excited as Rosario Dawson does look hot, and I'm still excited for Obi-Wan. I'm hoping we get to see Darth Maul. I'm hoping we get to see. We're
Dude,
obviously definitely
did
going
you
to
did
see
you
Hayden
see
Christensen.
did you see
What's
that a
that?
few? I think it was like a few years ago. There was this video of like the Darth Maul actor still had it. Like he can still twirl around his
Flip,
stick. No, no, no. I
dude.
mean the sword fighting. He still has it.
Oh, he can still do it,
He can
dude.
still
They should
fucking do
definitely.
it.
Now, here's the deal, man. For anybody who's watched Star Wars Rebels, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a final. There is the final confrontation, the true final confrontation, not what happened in the Phantom Menace, but the true final confrontation between Darth Maul. And this is canon. Darth Maul and Obi-Wan. I would love to see them recreate that live action. There's no reason why they can't. No, fucking nobody besides me and a handful of other dorks who watch Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, that is true.
uh, so if they do that, that's my expectation. If we see a standoff, a Darth Maul Obi-Wan final standoff, and it's beautiful. Yeah, no, I think people will be really, really jazzed.
I
As
just
long as
want I just
fucked
want a
up.
Darth. If I were to get like one show, I just want a Darth Maul show, because I think he's badass. Like the whole
He is
design,
badass.
the duo lightsaber, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and he has an arc, by the way, because after he gets cut in half in the Phantom Menace, his story isn't over. Like he has a whole arc, and then like he's a crime lord for a bit, and he's got a brother for some. It's pretty awesome. Um, we got some Dathomir lore. Anyway, you ready? You want a quick chat about this week's episode of
Yeah,
on
of
Point?
Demon Slayer, which sexualizes teenage girls. Okay, it's
Oh
the
yeah, that's right.
best.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
there's
okay.
lots of titties in this.
Chaos is
There's
asking
Zuko
if
too.
they're making Bad Batch season 2.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor that they are going to watch Bad. They're going to create Bad Batch season 2. I'm almost done with Bad Batch season 1. Almost. I wonder if we'll see. I wonder if we'll see Omega in Mando, because she would be
But isn't it a Power Rangers robot?
what is that? I don't. That's Alpha. I thought. No.
Oh, it's Alpha, yeah. That's Alpha.
Yeah. Omega, I think that's her name, would be so Bale. They introduced the character of Omega. She is a female version of Boba Fett. So
Oh.
when Django Fett asked those weird long neck aliens, the Camerons, I don't know what the fuck. Again, Star Wars nerds, you can yell at me. Uh, but the crazy aliens that make the clones, Camoans on the water planet. Jango Fett asked them to make a one-to-one direct copy of himself, who he raised as his son, Boba Fett. However, they made a second one. They made a second one-to-one, and they made it. They made her a little lady. But yes, so essentially, Jango Fett has a daughter. Boba Fett has a sister. Really, just a female version of a clone of him,
So,
kind of like the X-23 Wolverine scenario.
yeah. What you're saying is there is another.
Yeah, I mean, unless they kill her off in the show at one point, but I don't think they've done that yet. Um, so as long as she might be alive and kicking, so there might be a chance we might see her uh, elsewhere in the Star Wars universe. Um, I wonder if they're going to do Jedi Fallen Order 2, right? Because you got a Cal should be running around as well. We saw BD1 on Tatooine, so who knows what that means. Anyway, Demon Slayer, dude,
Dude,
do you love it?
fucking Affordable have earned every cent of their $90,000 per episode budget this last episode. Jesus fucking Christ. They keep upping the
Incredible.
game with each episode. Fantastic animation.
Is it crazy that Nezuko she got so large her tits got big?
I mean, yeah, I mean, she did that a bit before, like in like the very first episode of the show. She did age herself up, and we've seen her like age herself down to like 3 foot tall,
Yes.
because that's how she controls herself. That's how she conserves energy, and yada yada yada. And she literally went berserk here, and it makes
I
sense for her
thought
to use. Yeah,
she looked like she was almost gonna kill somebody and go full demon.
uh, yeah, she almost did. Tanjiro had to stop her.
Uh, this episode was dope. It left on a cliffhanger, right? After they beheaded those two, one of them looked
Yeah,
like he had kind of like a detonator in him.
yeah, and I will go tomorrow. This Sunday, like the finale. I didn't expect it to to be that quick. I was looking for like maybe 12, 15 episodes, but no, this is going to be 11, 10 or 11 episodes.
I'm gonna rewatch it dubbed, because I miss the American voices. I don't like the Japanese voices.
I do
They
love
sound yeah.
the guy with the green hair's voice though. Like how it's so crackly and shaky. I fucking love that. It works
Oh, I hate
very
that, dude. I fucking hate that. I
Why?
fucking hate that guy's voice.
It fits his He's supposed to be the opposite of his sister. He's the sickly one, so it makes perfect
No,
sense.
it fucking sucks, dude. That fucking voice is so annoying.
Ina, Ina.
Yeah, no, fucking awful, dude. Fucking horrendous, man. Almost unlistenable, dude. Now, I'm gonna be really curious to see how the American voice actor handles that.
All right, that would be
Don't
interesting to
like it.
see. But dude, this whole fucking season is stolen by fucking Izui and his 3 wives.
Wait,
that
say that
that
again. The
the
whole
whole
season, what?
season was stolen. The
Oh,
show was stolen by Izui and his 3 wives.
yes, yes, yes. Man, that's
Jesus
a
Christ! Like
dude. That's a lot of yeah. That's a
that's a
lot of
lot of
titty, man.
that's a lot of meat
It's
to
awful.
handle.
Which wife is your favorite wife?
Middle one. From the ones that, are in the screenshot, it's the middle one. The feisty one.
The the top one looks way too fucking much like Inosuke
Yeah.
without his mask on.
If you think
She
about it,
looks like she could be a
all
sister.
three of them are three main guys. The top one is the crybaby one, which is Zenitsu. You have the middle, which is the feisty one, which is Inosuke, because he's the mad kind of the three. And the lowest one is like the centered one, the balanced one, the calm one, which is Kamado Gonpachi.
Yeah, it is Gonpacho. Uh, but it's funny because they act like them, but they look like the middle one has got yellow hair, like French fry head. The bottom one is 1-to-1 though. The bottom one actually has got the face shape of Tanjiro, which is kind of crazy, right? And the top one looks like Inosuke. Like it, like
Yeah,
if
it's
you
a
were to pull
very
up a
interesting
photo of,
mix.
yeah, weird, right? I wonder if he's. I
It,
wonder
I,
what they're trying
I'm
to say with that.
I'm pretty sure its intention is going to be a joke. Some
Yeah.
time afterwards, like, oh, he's gonna finally have all six of them lined up, and he's gonna be like, hmm,
Hmm.
why this is kind of sus. Oh, Chaos from Reddit said Camino is the place where the clones were made.
Camino. Thank you. The Caminoans. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was gonna bother me. I
Oh,
like
it
that.
ain't gonna bother you now.
I like that. A French fry head has been asleep this entire season.
I know, right?
Finally, dude. That's the best part of the show.
The best way to have him not bitch moan and complain the entire bloody time is to knock his ass out. Let him sleep.
Yes.
Even in those cases, like, oh, you're like a different person now. You ain't that bad.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited to see where this goes. It was basically just fighting. And since we're not looking at like pictures and whatnot, there's really not a lot to discuss aside like the animation was awesome, the fighting is fucking awesome. I'm
Oh,
really curious to see
speaking of
how
looking
it
at
ends.
pictures, I'm afraid to look at the amount of screenshots I've saved up till now because the last episode was me doing doing rapid fire and then editing because Jesus Christ. I'm gonna save this episode as reference material because the posing is fucking phenomenal.
Well done, buddy. All right.
It's
Let's
very
see.
dynamic. Like I watched this episode twice when it came out, back to back.
This leads us to how many episodes of this show are left?
Everybody's favorite war criminal. I don't know. I think it's gonna go for like 12 or 15. Because
What did
there's
he
still.
say? What's the line that he said to his dad?
What are you doing? Get up. Did you forget why you were here?
Did you forget why you're here? I like that.
And it's being. You know what's good? Because it's been memed to all hell for the past few days.
Yeah, no, I love it. Uh,
It's fucking
fuck.
everywhere.
Yeah, I did not expect to see that happen. I'm very curious. When this episode left off, he had become a gargantuan kaiju, like a fucking city-sized kaiju, walking towards the rest of the human population to, I think, eradicate them with his army of titans.
Yeah, because he set off the entire all the walls, not just the first one. He set off everything, and it was so
Eh,
loud that Armin and Mikasa couldn't hear each other talk.
oh, that's why their ears didn't work. Okay, yeah. I am shocked. I was shocked. Oh, hey, could you? Hey, you're a fucking Attack on Titan nerd. How the fuck did they get all those titans in the wall like that?
That's to be explained.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So you know, but you can't
If
speak
it
on it.
if it if it wasn't explained beforehand, because they already know about the Titans, I think it's explained a bit later. It does get
Okay.
explained how they lined them all up and then stuffed them in a wall.
Yeah. Oh, alrighty. I know what happened way back when, with the founding titans and the king and all that shit.
And the
Okay.
names of the walls.
Right, exactly. The names of the
Like
walls are the names of the
a friend of mine
children.
had this a friend of mine had this comment where he's the type of guy that he likes everything being explained in detail. And he was like,
Oh boy.
how did he get to the conclusion to tell the kids to eat her? Like, where did that come from? And I'm like, well, it's fucking medieval times, so if someone has like
Yeah, dude.
weird powers, I think
Yeah,
the
dude.
only logical thing
Dude,
would be to eat them.
in parts of Africa today, they literally kill albino people to eat them because they think they are magic or they think they have medicinal. Dude, people still eat like tiger teeth and shit because they think, like
Their
rhino horn,
blood.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that does make sense. And
that's kind of all the explanation you need. You don't need,
and the weird spiny thing is just a weird spiny thing in nature to show that was hidden there. That
Yeah,
part
no,
of
yeah.
nature's mysteries.
Yeah, no, that doesn't bother me. Dude, if you could believe that people written bitten by radioactive spiders and they get spider power or like, get hit by gamma radiation. But like you don't ask the but like wouldn't a radioactive spider just get sick and die or give you cancer or something, you know?
He's not a
Like no.
superhero reader though. He's mainly a manga anime reader, and he does like his details. But
But
that's him. I wasn't bothered with it.
yeah, me neither. No, dude, yeah, weird alien fucking marine life thingy. Uh yeah, weird alien marine life thingy made her into this whatever the fuck. Fine by me. Yeah, that tracks. Her children ate her,
Yeah,
who are named after the walls.
I also hate the over explanation because we've seen it in comics where people are like, well, how does Plastic Man work scientifically? I'm like, I don't fucking care. He just does. That's it.
Right?
It just
Right? No, no.
was.
Like they're impossible things. Like yeah, no. Like being able to stretch yourself out like that, right? There's only so much matter right there. Like I'm literally holding up a stretchy little eraser, like blue tacky thing, and you stretch it out, and it does get stretchy, but it loses density,
It's
right?
gonna
Until
break.
it's
Yeah.
almost like right. So like yeah, that's how matter works, right? You can't add more, right? The thing stretched out would be a lot less dense, but not in comic books. In comic books, you can stretch a thing out or stretch it real little, and it doesn't get heavy and small. It doesn't get like light and long. It all maintains the
Yeah.
same amount of density. Because comic books. Because who gives a shit?
Yeah, and in One Piece, like the main character, Luffy, he ate a gum fruit that made him rubbery. And that's it. You just rubbery now. I don't need, the series doesn't go super explaining it. I don't need to super explain it. You just rubber now. That's fine
Yeah,
by me.
that's fine.
And you know, the saddest part about that super over explanation bit was brought up by Jim Lee himself. Which is another point in the argument that Jim Lee shouldn't be in leadership. He should be trying. But that's a different topic.
Hmm.
What
Okay,
other thing? Oh, you watched the Steins Gate movie this week.
I did. It was okay. It was all right. I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was nice hanging out with Okarin,
Christina.
uh, Okarin and Christina, old Rintaro Okabe, or Hyoin Kyuma.
Yes.
But kind of funny, right? That Christina like told him about Hoen Kyo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was the movie was literally what if the roles were reversed and what if
Exactly.
Christina was made to suffer and like when you saw her realize that oh you went through all of this
Mm-hmm.
alone
Yeah.
and he still
Yeah.
managed to pull through at the end for me and then she rallied herself she kissed an underage kid.
She what? Oh yeah, that's right. She kissed him in the mouth as a child. It's like wow, that fucking Jesus, man.
Here's the thing
Christina,
though,
you nasty.
if I'm 10 and a 16-year-old or 18-year-old redhead kiss me on the mouth, I wouldn't be fucking complaining. But I'm an animal.
You are an animal. I know, man. She might have damaged it. Maybe it's that weird. Because some kids that'll fuck up.
I know it wouldn't fuck up you because you are also an animal.
Yeah, no, not me. But weaker-minded kids.
Yeah,
No,
the
it was
week.
good. It was good. I could have done without it. Like it was nice to see that. Like
Yeah,
it was nice. It was nice to see. And I think all right, I take that back. I take that back. It was nice knowing that for the progression of their relationship, that they have each other's backs, and they're both as dedicated to each other as the other
yeah.
one is.
Even after a year of Kyoma not sending her a single goddamn email, she comes back and she's ready to simp for him. That was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. I had forgotten about that, but she was like, "Oh, did you know that this guy didn't send me a single message for like an eternity?" I'm like, "Oh, could be you fucking Chad."
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, you animal, man. Jesus.
Yeah, and she gets drunk, and the very first thing she's like, "Oh, hug me, come here." And I'm like, "Okay, Christina,
Yeah,
you
that was hot.
fucking simp."
Yeah, that was hot.
Yeah,
Drunk
but
Christina. Nice.
yeah, drunk Christina is fun to be around because she drops the whole tsundere act.
Yeah. She
And
just wants a
here's the
hug.
thing:
Make
after
out session.
going through the emotional torture of season one, going through the movie isn't as hard. It's nice because you get to hang out with the characters, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like the same emotional torture, but like with a different kind of sauce on top. Now season two is a whole different set of menus.
Oh man. I didn't know.
But
Wait, you're talking about the prequel?
uh, Steins Gate Zero isn't a prequel. It's just named Zero,
Oh.
but it's a sequel.
Oh.
It,
Interesting.
it
Is it any good?
oh, dude, it's as excellent as the first one. I mean, America gets involved, or at least Americans get involved.
Interesting. Huh. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah,
I'm in the middle
definitely.
of watching Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Yeah, you are in the middle of watching very big time classic. And I had forgotten how early some of the darkest moments of the show show up. Like Nina and
Oh yeah.
Hughes are like in the very first 10 episodes or so.
Oh yeah.
And now we
It's
get the
freaky.
reference why every time someone says Edward in a chat, everyone starts crying.
Oh, everybody says what word in the chat?
Edward. And,
Oh, Edward. Right.
in a bit of a
You know, that
broken
was
up
fucking
manner.
horrifying. That was a nightmare.
Yeah. And the guy's wife had also disappeared last time he made a talking homunculus. I mean chimera.
Yeah. And that thing just said, kill me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that show can be a fucking nightmare and touching, but also crazy and
That's so
super dark,
crazy hilarious.
but a good time. I'm down. I'm here for it. Did we miss anything?
I don't think we have. Do you have any favorite characters from Fullmetal Alchemist? Or are you going to end the series so and choose them?
Right now, what I'm approaching halfway, right? I'm about one third. I'm between one third and a halfway done.
So like 40%.
Yeah. Mm, let's see. We got. I.
We have the brothers, we have their housewife teacher. We
You know what it
have
was? It's this
we have
character that's
armed.
already dead, dude. Uh, my
Oh
favorite
no.
character, was Greed.
Oh yeah, dude, Greer was a badass. And he
Dude,
died in
Greed.
a he died
Yeah, no.
previously.
Yeah, Greed is my favorite character thus far. Lust was also pretty. Lust was sexiest lady in the show,
Yeah, but
but
that's the
no
horny
more.
talking.
Yeah. But that was a great fight. So I like that guy too, Mustang.
Mustang is among my favorites. Like that fucking
Yeah,
guy.
Mustang. So here, my top three: Greed, Mustang, and the panda,
Wait, the panda? You mean the little panda?
the little panda.
How'd you end up with the little panda?
Listen, don't sleep on the little panda.
Oh yeah, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I know pandas aren't to be slept on.
Oh, that's right, dude, man. I want to rewatch Jujutsu Kaisen. That show is fucking
Whenever you
fire.
want, I'm down. That's gonna be my
Yeah,
fourth time, and I'm gonna enjoy it just as much.
I might. I wanna finish Full Metal, and then maybe I'll rewatch. All right. All right. I think me yawning means that it's time. I don't
Oh
know why
yeah.
I'm yawning. It's like 4 o'clock for me. Uh,
Yeah, you're yawning because it's 4 o'clock for me. That's how
that's what it
connected
is.
we are.
Yeah, that's all right. We're bonded, dude. Like the Full Metal Alchemist brothers. We're
Yeah.
soul bonded. All right.
I mean,
Your
I can literally turn and look you
your body
in
is
the
in the astral
eyes.
plane right now. That's why you're in that. That's why you're stuck in that VTuber form.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have no body. There was no one
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
bind my soul to an armor.
That's why I'm so fat. I'm storing up calories for you, for your body.
What the fuck?
All right. I'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
I'll see you Monday. Is a good thing I'm watching Attack on Titan. Yes, it is.
Yes, it's a
Watch
great thing.
this weekend. Watch your Demon Slayer. Watch your Attack on Titan. Oh, maybe next week we'll finish a Peacemaker. We'll talk about that show.
Oh yeah, we
'Cause I'm
did forget
behind.
to. Oh, you're behind on Peacemaker. That's
I'm
fine.
behind. I'm behind.
I
Yeah.
did catch up. What?
Is it
One
still good?
one quick bit on Peacemaker. Oh yeah, I'm having fun with it, but the point that Master Kari made that they're more or less the same character, and that they always have some like sarcastic quippy remark to make. That
Yes.
that got annoying to me a couple of times, where it made
I,
me
I
not
can I,
enjoy that moment.
I can see that happening. That's
But
it's very James Gunn.
besides that, hardcore can get it.
Oh yeah,
That
hell
bl-
yeah,
that
hardcore.
that that blonde broad can get it.
She's fine. All right.
She fine as hell.
I'll catch everybody later. See you later, Bale. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the YouTube,
Thank you, chat.
the Twitch chat, the Reddit chat, and most
Reddit chat.
importantly, to the people who keep the lights on, the motherfucking patrons.
There it is. Thank you, patrons. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, patrons. And yeah, see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
See you guys next week. Bye bye. Arrivederci.